Okay, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. This is the preview show for Alexander Povetkin's latest fight in Russia, Moscow, against Christian Hammer or Hamer. I'm going to be absolutely brutally honest with you about this video and about my thoughts on this fight, as I usually am. I don't expect to see anybody else beat Alexander Povetkin in Moscow, in Russia. Again, ever, since Klitschko. I don't expect to see anybody else beat him. Even if they're good enough to beat him, I don't expect them to beat him. And I was convinced at this point the Mike Perez fight. Mike Perez fight, for those of you who saw the Mike Perez fight, some of you into conspiracy theories, whatever. The Mike Perez fight, when I was expecting a very good fight between Perez and Povetkin, very skilled fighter. Perez punches well, has a good chin. And I saw the chessboard come up, the black and white chessboard come up on the Trinitron, or what they were doing, the, you know, they've got the pictures of the cameras and stuff in the fight before the fight started. And it's when I saw that, I knew it was game over for Mike Perez. And as soon as I say game over, Perez was laying on the canvas, knocked out by Povetkin. We since discover Povetkin's been suspended for the use of PEDs. The Russian, his supporters and his management believe that Povetkin is innocent and it's just a conspiracy via the American or the US government or whatever, the US boxing agency, however you want to look at it. Anyway, the fact of the matter is this: since the defeat to Klitschko, Povetkin has looked bigger, he's looked stronger, and his record has been quite impressive. I believe we're talking about Alexander Povetkin now, who has won, let me get this up on the plot correct. I think he's won every fight bar the Rudenko fight by knockout. Let me just get this up here right now. Povetkin, 32 fights, 23 by KO, and he has been beaten once by Vladimir Klitschko. Well, since the Vladimir Klitschko fight, he knocked out Manuel Shah, who's got a decent chin. He knocked out Carlos Takam, something that Anthony Joshua couldn't do with all the bombs Joshua was hitting him with. He knocked out Perez, who doesn't normally get knocked out. He stopped Marius Vac. I know it was a cut, but he still stopped him. He knocked out the durable Duhaupas inside the distance, something that Mr. Wilder, for all his punch power, couldn't do. And he beat Rudenko, but, you know, just remember Hugh Fury beat Rudenko quite easily on points. So Rudenko didn't get knocked out there. Now he fights Christian Hammer. Now, in terms of Christian Hammer, I hope Christian Hammer is a Christian, or I hope he's a believing man, because he hasn't got a hope in hell of beating Povetkin in Moscow. I'm sorry. He may come with all good intentions, but come fight night, I think Povetkin's going to beat him. Don't be surprised if Hammer gets knocked out in this one. Simply because there's an agenda with Povetkin. The agenda for Povetkin is to get him to become world champion again by any means necessary. And I mean by any means necessary. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't bother. That's why I didn't even bother giving much credence to this fight. And I should really still report it. My reason is this. I don't think any fighter that enters Russia to fight Povetkin, and I would add Stavern to that mix. You know, they're not just fighting Povetkin. That's my belief. I can't be sure for that. But any fighter that goes to Povetkin's backyard, Povetkin runs things. Well, what about the Klitschko fight? Well, that was a little different. Povetkin there and his team met somebody maybe a little bit more powerful than Povetkin, possibly, or at level playing field. These other people like Hamer and Perez and Takam and even the Duhappers, they're chicken feed. So when they go over to fight Povetkin, they probably get treated really nice. They get good meals, treated nicely, fed very nicely. Then they get led to the slaughterhouse and then get destroyed. That's what happens. Someone's like the Klitschko thing. You feed up the Americans, make them feel good, and then destroy them come fight night. And I suspect this is, I expect Hammer to put up some good resistance. Had the fight been anywhere else but Russia, I would have given Hammer a good shot in this fight. Because let's remember, Povetkin's not getting younger. He's older. I think he's 37 or 38. In fact, I think Povetkin's actually older than Bermain Stavern. I think people talk about Stavern's age, but I think Povetkin's actually older than Stavern. I think he is. Let me check that. Let me just check that a second. I want to be sure on this. He is age 38. Well, he is. I think he's as old. He's as old as Stavern. But of course, Povetkin's had fought more active. Has been more active than Stavern. But yeah, so and Povetkin's reputation, whether you like it or not, by many people will be seriously tarnished because of the amount of PED allegations that have been brought to his name. So there'll be a lot of people tuning to hope that Hamer can beat Povetkin. Now, unless Hamer's a very brave man, or he doesn't understand what's going on, he's going there to pick up a check. That's it. Pick up a check, do your job, go the distance, and read the script. That's it. I don't see him actually beating Povetkin. Like I said, if the fight had been in Europe, anywhere but Moscow, then I'd have been happy with a fair fight. I just don't think this is going to be a fair fight. But I could be wrong, and I really hope I'm proven wrong on this theory. I really hope I'm proven wrong. And the only way Hamer wins this fight is by brutal knockout. He's got to nail Povetkin to the canvas. Can he do it? He's got the punch power to do it. But can he do it? I'm not so sure. There are consequences. I'm not sure if Hamer's prepared to deal with those consequences. In my personal opinion. Again, it could be me and my conspiracy theory. 2 years younger than Stavern. Okay. Let me just pull this up. Okay. Let's see what people are saying. Mikey's in the room. There are guys who got busted for drug failures, which I defend. Galahad and Brown are too. But for Povetkin, I can't defend. The most obvious PD user. His performances after Vlad fights were suspicious. Just look at the Duhaupas performance. He ironed him out cold, and I mean cold, while the stopped Duhaupas on his feet. Povetkin on PDs is a monster. He should take out Hamer inside 8. Povetkin will rock Hamer, and 30 seconds will be added onto the round. He's 2 years younger than Stavern. Okay. I remember German saying the best treatment he got pre-fight was in Russia. And then, like you said, they get destroyed in the ring and spiked if they win. Well, there you go. That's where you have it there. That's where you have it. And I'm hoping, I really am hoping that I'm completely wrong. I hope I'm wrong in this prediction. But if Hamer gets... Look, Tyson Fury fought... here's the form guide. Tyson Fury fought Hamer a few years ago. It was the last fight before he fought Klitschko, and he retired. I think. Let me check. Hamer's knockout. I think the last time Hamer got knocked out was against Marius Vac. Let me get his record here. Right. I think he's gotten better as a fighter, actually, Hamer. But let's see here. So the last loss he had was Tyson Fury back in 2015. And that was just before Tyson fought Klitschko for the world title. He retired in that fight. But coming into that fight, before he fought Tyson Fury, fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights. And in those 10 fights included Kevin Johnson, whom he beat on points, and a complete shot past Danny Williams. But he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's about 11 or 12 fights. He was unbeaten before he fought Tyson Fury. So that was a good win for Fury, which people kind of didn't kind of forgot about. That was a good win for Fury, right? And then he carried on winning. He beat Sherman Williams, unanimous decision. He KO'd Sprott, which he should have done. He beat Ergen Tepper. Ergen Tepper, the guy that beat Price. And then he went on and he beat Price. He got off the deck and he beat Price. And a unanimous decision. So he hasn't been knocked out since. The last time he got knocked out was against Maresvac in 2010, right? Since then, he's fought big punches. Danny Williams, he can punch. Let's see. Tyson Fury, I think, can punch. Ergen Tepper can punch. And David Price can punch. All right? And I'm saying he's one of the biggest punchers in heavyweight boxing. And Price dropped him, but couldn't stop him. Now he fights Alexander Povetkin. Can Povetkin do what the only other man was able to do, who was Maris back in 2010, stop Hammer? If he does that, that will be highly impressive. Based on a man who's got a pretty good, record ratio to losses and wins in Hammer. So if he's able to knock Hammer out, if he knocks him out inside the distance, I will be very, 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 very suspicious. Very suspicious. Very, very, very suspicious. How rich are Povetkin's promoters? It's insane. Duhapa's got a fair few million to fight him in 10 issues, like he pulled them out of the audience. Fury's name is tarnished. Also, that excuse of castrated wild boar is bullshit. Definitely took Nandro, in my opinion. Povetkin's really a joke. Hamer is durable, not half skilled enough. Nor does he carry the punch needed to take out Povetkin. He's in there for payday, I reckon. Les Messi says, hello, Mikey. Hey, man. You're right for Povetkin. Wild is a beast. Yes. So if Povetkin is able to score an inside the distance win against Hammer, I'll be very, 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 very dubious. So if he knocks Hammer out in the first 6, very dubious indeed. If he goes the points against Hammer, okay, fine. And I want to look at the size of Povetkin tonight, whether he looks like the Incredible Hulk again, or he goes back to pre-Klitschko. If he looks pre-Klitschko, then he's not on something. If he's post-Klitschko, which he's looks like the Incredible Hulk, I haven't looked at Povetkin, to be honest. And I don't care much for Povetkin anymore, to be honest. I just don't. But that's just being honest. I just don't care for anybody who's got PDs to round in such a way. If he goes to points, then PDs won't be enough anymore at 38. Possibly. But like I said, if he takes out Povetkin takes a Hammer in the first 6. Now here's something. If Hammer comes out and knocks Povetkin out, let's just say, we're going to look at all angles. If Hammer comes out and knocks out Povetkin, where does that put Hammer in the ratings? Where does that put Hammer in the ratings? Right? And will he be able to get out of Russia without some being tainted? Any top 5 heavyweight should be knocking Hammer out. Really, I'll disagree with you there, Mikey, because he fought Tyson Fury and Tyson didn't stop him. He retired on his stool. Tyson did drop him. So I don't believe any top 5 because he fought Price. I know he knocked Price out, but he fought Ergen Tepper, and Ergen Tepper was rated quite highly, and he beat Ergen Tepper. So, and that was the European champion at the time. So I think Hammer's come on a bundle since. He's come in a bundle since that fight, And I'm of this belief that you're boxing for so long, at some point you're going to progress. There is a progression. Tyson doesn't focus on power though. Doesn't plant his feet half as much. Hammer is really average. He'll get overwhelmed by most of the top 10 heavyweight, top 5. I disagree with you there, Mikey. I truly disagree with you there. I think Hamer is a good fighter, an underrated fighter. He beat Tepper, who people rated. He beat Tepper. I'd even pick Hamer to beat the guy that just beat the Derek Chisora that beat Derek Chisora, that Ajit. I like Hammer. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. And that Tepper is garbage, mate. Proper garbage. Goes life and death journeyman now. Yeah, well, he got beat. I mean, Povetkin won't win any more titles. Well, let's wait and see. Let's see how Hamer does tonight against Povetkin. If he does turn around and he beats Povetkin, then again, you've got to try and be as unbiased as possible. If he beats Povetkin tonight, then what's going to be said then? Is he on PEDs as well? I think Hammer's a decent fighter. Does the basic well and it's very tough. Thank you, Gazzo. I like Hammer too. I like him. And I hope that Hammer does put in a performance tonight. I really do. And he's very durable. Price couldn't knock him out. Afternoon, Del Boy. Afternoon, Ingram. He's good at his own level, mate. But when he steps up to world-class level, he gets owned badly. In the mix with guys like Povetkin, he's made to look average. Okay, well, let's look at Povetkin. I mean, you look on calling Povetkin this world-class monster, but who was Povetkin beat? Let's look at the Povetkin record of real substance. We could say, okay, yeah, let's see. So let's look at Alexander's Povetkin his record a second. And then say, if without the PEDs, now this is a guy that struggled against Huck, and I think actually Huck could beat him. So that's your Povetkin we're talking here. Now Rudenko, Huey Fury beat him. Duhaupas, Wilder beat him. Vac, Klitschko beat him, who Tyson Fury beat. Perez, Bright Jennings beat first. Takam, I believe Joseph Parker beat him. Char had already been knocked out by Breedis. Now, had he been knocked out? No, he hadn't. He'd been beaten by Vitaly Klitschko. Char. Hassan Rahman had been knocked out by quite a few people. Marco Huck, I thought, beat him. Shagayev, okay. But then Brown's beaten him. Nicholas Further, unanimous decision. Tyson knocked him out. Edward Chambers was unbeaten. Unanimous points decision. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure because every time I look at all the fights that Povetkin's had, how many of those fights Povetkin has won? On PEDs, how many of those fights that Povetkin has had? How many of those fights has he been PEDs? That's the question. Povetkin looked very pedestrian versus Rudenko. Thank you very much. The voice of reason here, Del Boy. I ain't doubting Povetkin. I'm not doubting Povetkin is beatable off peds, but we've got to deal with facts. He's on something, and when he's on something, he is a monster. Look at Takam, Perez, Perret, Duhaupas wins. Okay, sure. The Takam fight is the most disturbing one for me. No matter Perez, the Takam fight, because this is a guy that Joshua drilled with everything and couldn't do what Povetkin did to Takam. Just remember that, the way Takam fell against Povetkin. Now, the other thing to take into consideration, right, is height and leverage you can get in punches. This is another thing, and this is for Povetkin's favor. Vitaly Klitschko couldn't knock out Derek Chisora, but how does David Haye knock out Derek Chisora? Well, height-wise, Chisora was getting hit by most of the time at the top of the head. So Vitaly didn't get a clean shot of Derek's chin. Whereas David Haye, who's closer to height than Derek, I think Derek 6'2", David 6'3". There's not much in it between the two guys. Now, probably an inch in between it in terms of height. David was able to hit Derek on the chin regularly all the time, clean, regularly. And that's probably why. So that's something. So it's something that you need to also consider as well, leverage. And, because Tyson's tall and Povetkin's shorter, so he gets more opportunities to land on the chin, cleaner, leverage. It's easier punching up than it is punching down. So those are a few things to other consider as well. Technical and dynamics, punching power and stuff like that. Just something like that to consider as well. So I'm not all on this PED thing with Povetkin. That the guy has got some skill and some ability. And if he does knock a camera, it's because Tyson couldn't find the chin. But then Vac knocked him out. But that was in 2010. Since 2010 to 2015, Hammer's learned how to protect his chin better. I don't know. Truly on PEDs in a Hammer fight. So it's made a no contest on this record. Wow. Sadly, he's drugged up to his eyeballs. This guy that is knocking guys out like Takam will sure be taking the Hammer out. If I am Hammer, I'll be surviving the first 6 and trying to push Povetkin back. What time's the card start? I believe it's the 7 p.m. start, which is a bit of a pain because I had an interview to do at 7 p.m. tonight. So I have to reschedule that interview with a lady by the name of Erica Fernandez. Is it Fernandez or Fernandez? I think it is. So we'll have to reschedule that interview with her because obviously you guys are watching boxing, and I think I might do live commentary on it. 6:30 it starts on Sky. Okay, fine. So I'll be tuning in at 6:30 to watch that. Right. I think that's about it from me. But the fight is later, I believe. Yeah, probably. So that's it for me for now. Those are my thoughts on Hamer versus Povetkin. I hope that I'm completely wrong. I'm a strange conspiracy theorist, and that Povetkin is clean as a whistle, and Hammer is as clean as a whistle, and we've got a good fight. It'll be a good fight for sure. Right, I'm out of here, people. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments, and check out the interview yesterday I did with Alicia Taylor. Wonderful lady talking about branding and marketing and sponsoring. We talked Wilder and Joshua and how they brands could make money. What to do with a fighter. She also works with Kelly Pavlik as well. So basically, Povetkin knocks out Hammer inside 8. He's definitely on PEDs, no doubt for me. I think so too. For me too, definitely. So yeah, check out that interview as well. And I'm hearing through the grapevine, I'll be talking to Lucas Brown's manager. So as soon as I get the reply from him, I may get a reply tonight from him. So check that out. That may be happening. Maybe this talking to main events tonight as well. Jolie Mazzoni tonight from main events, obviously people that handle Sergey Kovalev. So join me later on. I'm sure it'll be fun.